Hi everybody. It's been a very historic week. For the first time in 31 years, an update to our broken tax code is passed, with significant tax relief coming for families, middle-income, low-income families primarily, as well as updating our tax code and making sure our businesses here in Minnesota, across the country, can compete once again, grow more jobs, pay more wages to their employees. It's very exciting as we look towards having a growing competitive economy. Let's get into our questions though. The first is an email that comes from Ruperto in Maple Grove, and he asks, Congressman Paulson, across the country, more than 40 million Americans selflessly dedicate themselves to providing care for veterans, parents, spouses, children, and adults with disabilities, and other loved ones so they can live in their homes. Family caregivers are the backbone of care in America, and they deserve our support. That's why I am asking you to support the bipartisan Recognize, Assist, Include, Support, and Engage, or the RAISE Family Caregivers Act. This bill would help more veterans, older Americans, and people with disabilities who live at home where they want to be. Supporting family caregivers is a bipartisan issue that touches almost every family. So as your constituent, I'm counting on you to support this bill. Thank you, Ruperto. Ruperto, thanks for sharing your thoughts on that bill. Family caregivers are the backbone of making sure that quality health care is provided to family members. You'll be glad to know the House actually just did this week pass the RAISE Act. It does allow and it directs the Health and Human Services Secretary to now coordinate federal, state, and local efforts with an advisory council to look at how we can better coordinate that type of care for family caregivers. It has reduced hospitalizations with family caregivers. It also makes sure we prevent unnecessary costly care. It makes sense. It's moving in the right direction. Next up is an email we got in from Mark and Edina. He writes in, Dear Congressman Paulson, I'm urging you to work with your colleagues to pass tax reform legislation that preserves access to higher education. We need more individuals to pursue careers in science and medicine, but the cost of graduate education is crushing. Therefore, tax benefits such as the graduate student waiver are essential. Many students pursuing their master's degree or PhD, they live off of a small stipend and they receive tuition waivers in exchange for teaching or working as a research assistant. By removing the tax-exempt status for graduate student tuition waivers, many hardworking students would owe thousands more dollars in taxes. So please ensure that final tax reform legislation protects the next generation of students that are pursuing higher education. Thanks, Mark. Mark, thanks for your email. You will be very glad to know that we were able to restore this provision. I was in constant consultation, not only with the University of Minnesota, but other higher education institutions that emphasize the importance of graduate higher education so that they would not have a taxable act on those tuition benefits that go to those students, because that is the next generation of science, math, all kinds of different leaders in our economy with research. So that's all put in a good spot for higher education, as well as some other provisions to make sure that students can continue to deduct their student loan interest, as well as some other provisions on protecting endowments that many of our Minnesota colleges also have for helping in tuition assistance. So good news on that front. I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah this holiday season. Enjoy time with your family. Continue to reach out to myself, our office, if we can help in any way. Enjoy this season. We look forward to being in touch with you in the new year. You can always reach me on paulson.house.gov at the website, of course on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook on social media. Thanks.